What's good, y'all boys, man? I'm back with another reaction. This time I got how good was Wizards Michael Jordan. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never heard nothing about Michael Jordan going crazy on the Wizards. I really don't know much, you know what I'm saying? So we here today to learn something that we didn't know. So hit that like and sub button, man. Let's get straight to it.
The Last Dance was one of the hottest documentaries this year, even though the real Last Dance of Michael Jordan happened 5 years after the story in the doc. In 2001, Jordan unretired for the second time and suited up in a blue Wizards jersey.
Hey.
Some people say that his 2 Wizards years tarnished his legacy, and some praised MJ even more. So what's the real truth? And how good was Jordan in Washington? Was he really washed? Or did he prove once more that he's the GOAT? Watch the rest of the video to find out. After The Last Dance. In 1998, MJ and Phil Jackson went to the karaoke bar, and Jordan chose The Careless Whisper by George Michael and sang, "I'm never gonna dance again, the way I danced with you," looking gently in Phil's direction. Okay, I totally made that up.
Hey, yo, what? Bro, L joke, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Jordan indeed said that he wouldn't be playing unless it's for Phil Jackson, since the Bulls GM Jerry Krause didn't want to re-sign Phil, and Scottie Pippen wanted to get his first massive paycheck. The Bulls fell apart, and MJ fulfilled his promise and retired for the second time.
Hey, I do gotta say, bro, I do know for a fact they was scamming Scottie Pippen. Like, bro, they were dead ass scamming Scottie Pippen. Like, bro, they was doing him mad dirty. Like, Buddy was making chump change for real, bro. Like, in the NBA, he was making chump change.
And then in January of 2000, Michael came back to the NBA, but he didn't wear a jersey. Instead, he slipped into a suit and tie as a minority owner and president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. The team was bad and finished that year with a 29-53 record. And they got even worse next year with 10 wins less.
Wait. So, whoa. So he owned part of the Wizards? Like, he was a part of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they said that he suited up, like, as a businessman for the Wizards. So they were so bad that Michael Jordan was like, nah, bro, I'm finna come out of retirement and come hoop for these boys. I ain't gonna lie, that just gave him a +1 on his GOAT status.
He slipped into a suit and tie as a minority owner and president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. The team was bad and finished that year with a 29-53 record. And they got even worse next year with 10 wins less. But there was hope on the horizon. They got the #1 pick. MJ had the chance to get a blue-chip prospect, and he famously opted for Kwame Brown, the #1 high school player in the country. Jordan saw something in Kwame.
Wasn't Kwame Brown trash? Is that what they're about to get into, bro? Because I think I remember Kwame Brown, bro. I heard he was trash. So Michael Jordan became, you know what I'm saying, part of the business, you know what I'm saying, part of the organization of the Wizards, and drafted somebody that was garbage. Is that what I'm about to hear?
And he believed he is the cornerstone that will immediately turn the Wizards into a winning ball club. Also, he knew a guy pretty good at basketball. A guy who was on the floor with the team at every practice and who was itching to make another comeback. It's an itch that still needs to be scratched, and I want to make sure this itch doesn't bother me for the rest of my life. I'm just going to play the game of basketball that I love. It's not about the money. Indeed, It wasn't about the money. Jordan the GM gave Jordan the player the smallest salary on the Wizards.
That's crazy.
And MJ gave all of it to the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attack. It really was
W-mans. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Michael Jordan, like, I don't know a lot of stuff about Michael Jordan. I feel like some people don't know, like, how great of a person he is, bro. I done heard of Michael Jordan doing stuff like this all the time. Like, yeah, you hear about Michael Jordan because people wear his shoes, and you hear about Michael Jordan because he played for the Bulls and he was Air Jordan, you know what I'm saying? That nigga had bounce, all that, you know what I'm saying? He was bald as shit, if you want to get into that. But nah, bro, real deal, he looking out for people. Like, I'll really be seeing him, like, donating to charity. And like it just said, he gave all his salary to the victims of the 9/11. Like, bro, that's really W-mans. Like, that's another +1 to his GOAT status for real. And just him coming out of retirement to play with the Wizards, you know what I'm saying? He really trying to, that's tough.
It's just about the game for him. And because of that competitive fire that never ceased to burn, and that voice in the head who kept telling him he is still better than the young guys who took over the league from him. How good were the Wizards?
Nah, for real.
The Wizards had a young Richard Hamilton, who was in his 3rd year, and who was turning to be one of the most promising shooting guards in the league.
That boy was
and that
nice.
was about it when it comes to quality players with potential. The rest were either older veterans on their way out or young role players. Of course, there was also Kwame Brown, who, by the time the season started, was already crushed by Jordan, who insulted him at any chance he got. Jordan never changed his ways, and just like he trash-talked all of his opponents, teammates, and Jerry Krause.
So you trying to tell me that Kwame Brown was just soft, bro? I ain't gonna lie, bro. As a grown man, I'm never letting another grown man make me feel weird. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna criticize me or you gonna tell me I'm doing something wrong, bro, I'm gonna either tell you something back or I'm gonna change what I'm doing that's wrong so you don't say nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna take it as constructive criticism. Like, if y'all told me my reactions was trash, I'm like, okay, what's bad about it? Then you gonna tell me da-da-da-da-da. Then I'm gonna change it up for the next video. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to perfect my craft. You telling me Kwame Brown was the #1 pick for the Wizards and Michael Jordan believed in him, and you worried about what Michael Jordan gotta say with you when he get on the court, bro? Come on, bro.
It was maybe even worse to Kwame. The 19-year-old kid couldn't take it, and he played with zero confidence and was basically unusable on the court. Nobody on the team averaged more than 10 points that year, other than Rip Hamilton and Jordan. The Wizards were the same team that won 19 games the year prior, plus Jordan and Kwame. MJ thought it would be enough to be competitive, but he overstated his team and himself. Return of the Mac. Before the season, Jordan was working tirelessly to get himself in shape. He trained every day with his personal trainer, Tim Grover, and held private training camps with various NBA players to get himself in game shape. So, when the season started, Jordan wasn't rusty. In the first 2 weeks of the season, Jordan scored over 30 in 4 of his 8 games.
Sheesh.
In the 9th,
How old was Michael Jordan when he did this? You know what I'm saying? Like, scoring over 30 in his last season with the Wizards? Nah, that's actually like, that might give him more respect. Now that I think about it, bro. Dropping third. How old was he?
he
Somebody
poured
let me know in the
44
comments.
on the Jazz, picking
Damn.
up right where he left off in 1998.
44?
After the first 10 games, he averaged 27.4 points,
Sheesh.
6.3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals.
These stats right here are low-key insane. Like, bro, because for people to say that he fell off with the Wizards is like low-key crazy. Like, bro, 27, 6, and 4, and 2 in the first 10 games.
And it seemed like
that's
he had
tough.
never left, as his stats were virtually the same to the 1998 regular season. He was in the MVP race and made it
my
easy for the
goodness.
world to fall in love with him once again. However, his play wasn't reflected in the team record, as the Wizards only notched 2 games in the win column. They started the season 5-12, and were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Also, Jordan's stellar play at the beginning of the season wasn't sustainable at the age of 38. He was still
Oh, he
Michael
was
Jordan,
38.
but he wasn't Air Jordan anymore.
Okay. He was 38. LeBron is 39. LeBron, is he better than Michael Jordan? I personally low-key think that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. Just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron still can't be fucked with. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? He gonna do this the whole LeBron right now in 2024, you know what I'm saying, is gonna lead his Lakers, even though they're 17-19 right now, he's gonna lead his Lakers to the NBA playoffs, the 2024 NBA playoffs, and they dang near got a shot to win it. Like, mark my words right now. You know what I'm saying? Clip this if you got to. The Lakers might win the championship, bro. 2024 NBA champions.
Wasn't sustainable at the age of 38. He was still Michael Jordan, but he wasn't Air Jordan anymore, or at least not all the time. And even though his totals were still looking good, Mike became an inefficient volume scorer on a bad team. He shot 40% in those first 17 games, a landslide from his career average of 50%. MJ was still fundamentally sound. He could still see every play, and he was still 6'6", strong and confident, but he didn't have the same speed, and he didn't have the legs under him to shoot efficiently. But if you know anything about Jordan, you know that he hates losing more than anything. After those 17 games,
Whoa! You a menace, my boy. You just fake elbowed him?
anything about Jordan,
That's how you
you know
coming?
that he hates
Look,
losing more than
fake
anything.
elbow.
After those 17 games and a 5-12 record, the Wizards won 9 in a row.
That nigga said, "Ugh." Yo, man,
And they
that-
lost a couple. And in the second of those 2 losses, MJ had the worst game of his career. In 25 minutes on the floor, he shot 2 out of 10 and finished the game with 6 points, which snapped his record 866 game streak of double figures scoring, and the media went ballistic. After the game, Jordan was down on himself. On the bus ride from the arena, he sat next to Doug Collins, whom he hired to be the coach, and asked him, "Do you think I can still play?" Collins said, "Yeah, of course. I only took you out because we were down by 25 in the 4th and wanted to keep you fresh for the next game." MJ was satisfied and said he did the right thing, but he needed the confirmation and the assurance that his coach still believed in his abilities. 2 nights later,
Do y'all think the coach still believed in his abilities, or he's like, you know what I'm saying, this nigga, you know what I'm saying, really getting me paid, you know what I'm saying, he the one that hired me, I ain't finna break his heart, you know what I'm saying, I ain't finna tell him. He ain't want to be the one to tell him, bro. If we gonna be realistic, that coach was scared out his ass. That nigga was not finna tell Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan, nah, bro, you can't do it no more. Even if Buddy was garbage, even if Buddy was trash, he was not finna say nothing. All he cared about was feeding his family at the crib. He finna, Michael Jordan, you still the best nigga out there, no cap. Like, what? I'm saying, Michael Jordan, you the best player in the league.
He scored the first 3 times he had the ball, and he finished the game with 51 points, going 21.
That nigga dropped 51?
Scored the first 3 times he had abilities. 2 nights later, he responded in a big way. He scored the first 3 times he had the ball, and he finished the game with 51 points, going 21 for 38 from the field. He was the oldest player ever to score 50 in an NBA game. He followed that up with a 45-point, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3-steal effort against the New Jersey Nets, including scoring 22 points in a row during one stretch. In the game against the Cavaliers, the Wizards were down by a point with 1.6 seconds left. Michael then hit a mid-range jumper for the last buzzer beater of his career. In a game against his former club, after enduring Ron Mercer's trash talk and having his jumper blocked, he responded by pinning Mercer's layup against the backboard with 2 hands and trash-talking him on the way back up the court. It was a game-winning play, and one of the most spectacular blocks by Jordan, or anyone for that matter. It was even more impressive that it was done by a 39-year-old who spent his last 3 years playing golf.
LeBron does that every game. That's another reason why I think LeBron's better. Like, I ain't here to hate on MJ. That nigga he's nice, bro. He's real deal good, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's really he was doing his thing, dropping 50, 47. You know, at age 38, that's nice. But LeBron is still that guy. He's still going to do it. LeBron's going to still be putting up 30 points a game when he's 42 years old, bro. Like, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, my boy.
Drinking and smoking cigars. By the end of the season, Jordan notched back-to-back 40-point games.
Oh my goodness,
but also 4 more games where he failed to reach double figures. And that's where the answer lies about Jordan's time with the Wizards. Yeah, he could still play. And yes, he could still be dominant. But it wasn't the kind of dominance we grew accustomed to. And it didn't happen every game. Jordan finished the year early due to a knee injury that required surgery. And the Wizards didn't make the playoffs with a 37-45 record. MJ played 60 games in the 2001-02 season, and he averaged 23 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists.
Okay, for all the haters, bro, this stat line, you know what I'm saying, is not bad. That's actually good. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily say that the Wizards, like him playing on the Wizards, was bad for his career. What do y'all think in the comments? Let me know. And hit that like and sub button, man. We on the way to 3K subs, man. We trying to run it up. If this video blow up, we on the way to 100K subs. No, I'm just playing, but nah. Yeah, that's a good stat line. I ain't gonna lie.
Those numbers look great in a vacuum. But when you look at Jordan's efficiency, you can quickly tell he didn't have an overly successful season. Jordan took 22 shots per game. Far more than he should have for a player shooting 41% from the floor and 19% from 3. He was second to last in effective field goal percentage out of all players who qualified for the stat, and 169th out of 177 qualified for true scoring percentage.
Sheesh.
The real last dance. In the offseason, Jordan the GM wanted to help Jordan the player. He traded the best young player on the team, Rip Hamilton, for a more experienced Jerry Stackhouse. Trading away Hamilton was a mistake, and Jordan once again proved his short-sightedness in making decisions. The team wasn't that much better, and the season went pretty much the same as the last. Jordan, who was a year older and was battling a
So Buddy was the GM and the player? My nigga, you the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie. That is some next level stuff right there.
lingering knee injury. Still had some juice left, but he had to squeeze really hard to get a full cup, and it didn't happen all the time. He scored over 43 times, becoming the first 40-year-old to score over 40 in an NBA game. He also had 7 more games where he failed to score 10 points. His defense wasn't at the level it once was, and numerous players took the opportunity to put up numbers against Jordan, something that was unimaginable in previous years. Kobe dropped 55 on him after Jordan taunted him that he could wear the shoes but could never fill them. Michael was more rational with his shots in the second year and shot 44% from the floor, and it was enough for 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists for the season. Jordan played in all 82 games, but once again, the team went 37-45 and didn't make the playoffs. The highlight of the year was definitely the All-Star game, where MJ was selected as a reserve after he rejected the offer from Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady to take their starting spots. He ultimately accepted it from Vince Carter. At halftime, Mariah Carey performed a special tribute to him, donning dresses of both his rookie year Bulls jersey.
He trying to smack Mariah Carey. Oh my goodness. Well, Mariah Carey trying to get on that with Jordan. See, I knew it, bro. I knew it, bro. You know what I'm saying? She probably had a husband back then, bro. That's crazy, bro. How you gonna try to get on that with that Michael Jordan? You had a husband, bro. I'm already knowing, bro.
And his final year Wizards jersey, as his career highlights played on giant screens behind her. It was a proper send-off, worthy of a star that was Michael Jordan. In the game itself, MJ didn't shoot it particularly well, but he did score 20 points, and most importantly, hit a tough fall-away jumper over Shawn Marion to give the East the lead with less than 5 seconds to play. It appeared to be a game winner, but the West scored again and prevailed in overtime. Still, Jordan proved that he still belongs with the best players in the world, at least for one game, even though it was clear he wasn't the best anymore. A mediocre dessert to a great meal. If you want a recap of Jordan's time with the Wizards, you'll get different.
Now that I think about that, a mediocre dessert to a great meal, bro, that's some bullshit. Like, think about you go to a 5-star restaurant, bro. I'm talking about fire eats. I'm talking about great eats. You done eat all the food. You like, I'm about to give me some cheesecake, a little bit of ice cream, brownie. Hey, bring that shit out. That shit gross. Oh my goodness, I'd be sick. I wouldn't even want to pay for the food no more.
Different answers, depending on who you ask. Jerry Stackhouse said that he wished he had never played in Washington because everything was still going through Michael Jordan, even though it was obvious he wasn't the same player anymore. Kwame Brown was miserable during Jordan's years there, and his career would have certainly been better if he didn't play with MJ as a 19-year-old. The Wizards owner Abe Pollin wasn't thrilled with Jordan either, and he relieved him of his GM duties shortly after the last season of Jordan as a player. If we compare Jordan's last years to some of the other NBA greats, we'll see some similarities. The greatest players who ever did it, if they took care of their bodies, were still extremely effective at an advanced age. Tim Duncan was named to the All-NBA and All-Defensive team in 2015 at the age of 39. Kareem made the first team All-NBA in '86, also aged.
That boy Kareem Beard.
At the age of 39, like Kareem made the first team.
That nigga like he got a helmet on.
All-NBA in '86, also aged 39. And he averaged 26 points in the playoffs that year. Karl Malone averaged 28 and 5 at the age of 39. So it's not unusual that Jordan was still able to play. But maybe the best quote about Jordan's Wizards years came from his agent, David Falk. I just don't think it was a good dessert to a great meal. In the words of De La Soul, Mike was certified hot, and then he dropped to lukewarm. However, that last 2 years didn't affect his legacy. And the unathletic Jordan, who had to pump fake 3 times to get a separation for a shot, was soon forgotten. People like to remember the good things, and the lasting image of Jordan will always be that shot over Russell and celebrating his 6th title with a cigar in his mouth.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie. I think that the Wizards, Michael Jordan, wasn't that bad. It just wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He should He should have kept that, you know what I'm saying? He should have kept that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Should have just ended with the Bulls. But hey, man, if y'all want more reactions like this, if y'all want this Allen Iverson one right here, I'll do it for y'all. Let me know in the comments. Hit that like and sub button, man. 100K subs on the way. Let's do it.